China has accused the United States of overstretching the concept of national security after the White House ordered government agencies to wipe the Chinese social media app TikTok off federal devices within 30 days. Beijing said the US was abusing state power.
The FBI says the COVID pandemic is likely to have been caused by a leak from a Chinese laboratory. It's the first time the agency has said this in public. Beijing says the allegation is defamatory. Scientists say an artificial intelligence technology now under development could improve the way transplant organs are selected. It will make the assessment on the basis of photographs. Currently, surgeons must see the organs themselves.
Congress in Ecuador has voted overwhelmingly to investigate corruption allegations involving President Guillermo Lasso. The vote is non-binding but could eventually lead to impeachment proceedings. Mr. Lasso denies wrongdoing. Current and former Twitter employees have told the BBC the social media firm is failing to protect users. They blame mass sackings and changes brought in by its new owner Elon Musk. Twitter has not responded to the claims.
Now, we have to start today with some sad and concerning news out of North Korea. Experts say that North Korea's chronic food shortages are growing, and so is the number of citizens potentially dying due to starvation. Trade data, satellite images, and assessments from the United Nations and South Korea suggest that the nation is grappling with their lowest food supply since the famine of the 1990s. A woman from Wisconsin might be the luckiest person in the world, setting the new Guinness World Record for the largest collection of four-leaf clovers. Gabriella Gerhardt started hunting four-leaf clovers all the way back in the year 2010. She now has more than 119,000 of them. That's 7,000 more than the previous record, FYI. Now, learning about this story got me thinking, what's so lucky about this leaf? According to Celtic tradition, four-leaf clovers have magical powers of protection and are able to ward off evil and bad luck, but it's not clear to historians where the idea began.
March 8, 2014, a date I remember well. It was the launch of this program, my program on CNN. Also the day, more importantly, that MH370 disappeared, which marked the start of one of the biggest aviation mysteries of all time. The plane carried 239 passengers and crew members. It was set to arrive in Beijing that morning after departing from Kuala Lumpur, but has never been seen since. Coverage of MH370 then took over our airwaves and everybody else's for months after that. And yet, despite launching the largest aviation search in history, virtually nothing was found of the aircraft. Theories on how a plane could vanish into thin air have gripped the world for almost a decade, but so far, none have been proven. Now, Netflix is streaming a brand new 3-episode docuseries. It's called MH370, The Plane That Disappeared, investigating the still unsolved mystery. Jeff Wise is an aviation journalist who plays an important role in the Netflix series. He's the author of the book, The Taking of MH370. I invested the 3 hours in the Netflix show. I'm not sorry that I did. I learned a heck of a lot. But at the end, Jeff, we still don't know.
We still don't know, Michael, and I think that's the point. You know, in the months that followed, the investigators performed this intricate mathematical calculation that told them where the plane went, and they devoted a years-long search to scanning the seabed. Really challenging, amazing feat. The water there is as deep as 3 miles, and they covered an area the size of Great Britain, and yet the plane was not there. And so this is really, I think, what the documentary series is trying to tackle with. How do we reconcile those facts? How can they have performed this really rigorous mathematical analysis and yet failed to find the plane? What could have happened?
And we've got a big show today, and we start with the collapse of a bank in the United States over the weekend that has people worried about losing their money and businesses on the verge of going under. Silicon Valley Bank, an epicenter for tech startup companies with $175 billion in deposits at the end of 2022, has collapsed. One reason? Those rapidly rising interest rates we've been talking so much about on this show, well, they made the treasuries in which the bank had invested money less valuable. So the bank started to sell them at a loss. And that scared people who had money there, so they went on what's called a bank run, withdrawing all of their money in a panic. The more people that did that, the more others wanted to do the same. Inevitably, the bank collapsed. The FDIC, or Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, seized control of the bank, and President Biden said yesterday that all depositors would get their money back. And businesses that kept assets there, well, they would have money to pay their employees. The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank had a ripple effect on a second bank. The same sort of bank run hit Signature Bank shortly after. It had its doors slammed shut as regulators warned that keeping it open could threaten the entire financial system's stability. Now, there are fears that other banks may be next. There's a term for this sort of spread of fear over people losing money when banks collapse. It's called contagion. So yesterday morning, President Biden addressed the nation for the first time publicly to try to ease those fears, knowing that the panic could cause a devastating economic fallout for people and businesses around the world. We're starting today with the latest news from Capitol Hill, where the CEO of TikTok is facing withering criticism from lawmakers. The app, which has a reported 150 million users in the United States alone, is facing a potential U.S. ban over national security concerns. This stems from the fact that its parent company, ByteDance, is based in China. And on Thursday, some lawmakers made their case at the TikTok congressional hearing.
We do not trust TikTok will ever embrace American values, values for freedom, human rights, and innovation. TikTok has repeatedly chosen the path for more control, more surveillance, and more manipulation. Your platform should be banned.
Now, the CEO, Shou Chu, is pushing back hard, saying the app is not a vehicle for the Chinese government to spy or spread propaganda in the United States, and that its new security model has American users' data being stored in America by an American company. Here's part of his testimony yesterday.
The bottom line is this: American data stored on American soil by an American company, overseen by American personnel. We call this initiative Project Texas. That's where Oracle is headquartered. Today, US TikTok data is stored by default in Oracle servers. Only vetted personnel operating in a new company called TikTok US Data Security can control access to this data.
시청해 주셔서 감사합니다. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다.